Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Become a Fluent English Speaker. Today's English listening podcast is about a skill that looks simple on the surface, but has the power to completely transform your life. That skill is the ability not to react. We live in a world where people react to everything: a comment online, a disagreement, criticism, an insult, a misunderstanding. Many people feel the need to respond immediately. They want to defend themselves, prove a point, or win an argument. But what if I told you that some of the strongest people are not the ones who react the fastest? They are the ones who remain calm when everyone else is losing control. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you said something in anger that you later regretted? How many times have you made a decision based on emotion instead of logic? Most of us have experienced this. When emotions take control, our judgment becomes weaker. We stop thinking clearly. We focus on the moment instead of the consequences. This is why emotional control is such a valuable skill. It gives you the ability to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. One of the biggest misunderstandings about self-control is that people think silence means weakness. In reality, silence often requires more strength than reacting. Anyone can lose their temper. Anyone can argue. Anyone can react emotionally, but staying calm when emotions are high takes discipline. It takes maturity. It takes confidence. When you stop reacting to everything, you begin to realize how much energy you were wasting on situations that did not deserve your attention. Imagine someone criticizes you unfairly. Your first instinct might be to defend yourself immediately. You want to explain, argue, or prove them wrong. But sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you understand that not every opinion deserves your energy. Mature people learn to choose their battles carefully. They understand that peace is often more valuable than being right. The power of not reacting becomes even more important in relationships. During disagreements, emotions can rise quickly. People say things they do not mean. They interrupt each other. They focus on winning instead of understanding. But when one person remains calm, the entire conversation changes. Calmness creates space for better decisions and better communication. It allows emotions to settle before words cause unnecessary damage. Another reason not reacting is powerful is because it protects your mental health. Many people allow other people's words and actions to control their mood. A negative comment ruins their day. A disagreement destroys their peace. A small problem consumes their thoughts for hours. But emotionally strong people understand something important. They cannot control everything that happens around them, but they can control how they respond to it. And that control creates freedom. Now let's talk about confidence. Truly confident people do not feel the need to prove themselves constantly. They do not chase validation from everyone. They do not react to every criticism. They understand their value without needing constant approval. This is why calmness often looks powerful. When you are secure in yourself, you become less dependent on external opinions. You stop reacting to every challenge because your confidence comes from within. There is also a practical side to this lesson. Not reacting gives you time to think. Instead of making emotional decisions, you create space between the event and your response. That space may only last a few seconds, but those few seconds can completely change the outcome. A thoughtful response can solve problems. An emotional reaction can create new ones. The ability to pause before responding is one of the most underrated skills in life. Of course, not reacting does not mean becoming passive or allowing people to mistreat you. It does not mean avoiding important conversations. It simply means choosing your response carefully instead of acting emotionally. Sometimes speaking up is necessary. Sometimes setting boundaries is important. But even then, calm communication is usually more effective than emotional reaction. As you move through life, remember that not every situation requires your attention. Not every criticism requires your defense. Not every argument requires your participation. Learning to protect your energy is one of the greatest forms of self-respect. The more selective you become about where you invest your emotions, the more peaceful and focused your life becomes. So the next time you feel the urge to react immediately, pause for a moment, take a breath. Ask yourself whether the situation truly deserves your energy. Ask yourself whether your reaction will improve the situation or make it worse. Often, you will discover that calmness is the stronger choice. Now, before we finish today's English listening podcast, I want you to write something in the comments. What is one situation where staying calm helped you make a better decision? And if you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe to become a fluent English speaker for more English listening practice, confidence building, communication skills, and self-improvement content. This is Laura, and remember, not every battle deserves your energy. Sometimes the most powerful response is calmness. I'll see you in the next podcast. Keep growing.